Butthug Man.
As we eagerly await the arrival of Pikmin 4, let's take a step back and look at the course of development for this beloved Nintendo franchise that has spawned an amazing array of games, media, and merchandise over the last 2 decades. Our first glimpse of what would eventually become the game, Pikmin, was shown off on August 1st at Space World 2000. It was then we were introduced to Super Mario 128. Super Mario 128 was a tech demo developed in part to demonstrate the capabilities of the Nintendo GameCube at rendering multiple AI objects on screen. This project would ultimately lead to features implemented in Pikmin, as well as other future games. The true reveal of Pikmin would not come until the following May at E3 2001. The game was first announced in a pre-E3 press release on May 15th. A private demonstration of the game was shown to the press the next day, but the public's first view of Pikmin wouldn't be unveiled until the 17th with the first Pikmin trailer. This trailer gave us our first glimpse of the titular Pikmin, as well as our hero, Captain Olimar. Pikmin would be a real-time strategy game where you take command of dozens of small plant creatures in order to defeat aggressive beasts, propagate your army, and retrieve the necessary missing ship parts within a 30-day in-game time limit. Pikmin eventually released in Japan on October 26, 2001 for the Nintendo GameCube. However, it was shortly after its initial release that the first rumblings of a sequel being in the works were detailed. In a developer interview in the November issue of Nintendo Dream magazine, Miyamoto discussed how he already had plans for Pikmin 2 and how he wants the Pikmin brand to be the new Mario. In December of 2002, Mr. Miyamoto, in an issue of Japan's weekly Playboy magazine of all places, confirmed that Pikmin 2 was indeed in development. Shortly after, on Christmas Eve, Nintendo officially announced Pikmin 2 as part of the GameCube's future lineup. 2 months later, on February 21, 2003, Shigeru Miyamoto and Eiji Aonuma revealed to European press the first still images of Pikmin 2. Little is known about the game at this time, other than that it will see the return of Captain Olimar and that it will feature a split-screen multiplayer mode. More information about the game is described on April 23rd on Nintendo.com. We received details about Olimar's partner Louis, their goal of recovering a 10,000 Poco debt, and the new heavily featured underground cave system. Additionally, the first screens of the brand new white and purple Pikmin varieties are shown. The first gameplay of Pikmin 2 made its debut at E3 2003 on May 13th. This short demo gave players a taste of both the single-player story and multiplayer challenge mode. By March of 2004, Nintendo Japan launched the official Pikmin 2 website. On this website was the first trailer for Pikmin 2. This trailer showcased a host of new environments and baddies for Olimar, Louis, and their little army to overcome on their expansive journey. A quick peek at the game's multiplayer battle mode was also displayed within the footage. The game released the following month in Japan on April 29, 2004. In addition to multiplayer, the game boasted a variety of new features including a more robust challenge mode, encyclopedias for both enemies and treasures, and exclusive to Japan, special e-reader functionality. Our next stop in the timeline features an interesting side note of a project that never came to fruition. On January 9, 2006, Nintendo filed a patent for what is clearly a description of a Pikmin-like game for the Nintendo DS. The patent describes methods of using a stylus and touchscreen to command leaders and their units. Using the stylus, players would be able to instruct their units to move, attack enemies, and carry objects. Unfortunately, this game never made it beyond the prototype stage. Miyamoto eventually commented in a 4Gamer.net interview that Pikmin was at one point in development for both the DS and later the 3DS. Miyamoto explained that the project leaned too heavily on the strategic and management side and away from an action-type game, ultimately feeling less like Pikmin. It would be a long break before the next piece of Pikmin news was announced. During the E3 Developer Roundtable on July 16, 2008, Miyamoto officially confirmed that the next Pikmin game was in development. Pikmin 3, it was assumed, would be launching sometime in the future for the Nintendo Wii. However, as it turned out, not one, but 2 Pikmin games would be coming to the system. On October 2, 2008, Nintendo announced the Wii de Asubo aka New Play Control lineup of games. These titles were GameCube games ported to the Wii with new motion and pointer controls, as well as other features. 2 of these revamped titles would be Pikmin and Pikmin 2. Wii de Asubo Pikmin released in Japan on Christmas Day 2008. The game modified many features from its initial release, including widescreen support, a point-and-throw control system, removal of several notable glitches, and a new save system allowing players to replay the game from any previous day. Wii de Asubo Pikmin 2 released a few short months later on March 12, 2009 in Japan. This game included the same graphical and control alterations as its predecessor. As time went on, little was said of the next entry in the Pikmin franchise. After the reveal of the Wii U during E3 2011, the question remained, would Pikmin 3 be seen on this new platform instead? At a developer roundtable on June 7th, Mr. Miyamoto confirmed that the title had indeed switched platforms and would be releasing for the Wii U. The following April, in an interview with Spanish journal El Mundo, Miyamoto confirmed Pikmin 3 will be appearing at E3 2012. Finally, after 8 years since the release of Pikmin 2, Nintendo's E3 conference began with the reveal of the long-awaited Pikmin 3. During the demonstration, Shigeru Miyamoto and Bill Trinen showed off some new features of the game, including HD graphics, options for Wii Motion Plus and gamepad controls, 4 new captains, and the brand new Rock Pikmin. Later that day, Nintendo also released the first official trailer for Pikmin 3. This trailer showed more footage of the game's new environments and enemies, but also included a brief glimpse at the then undisclosed Pikmin type, the Winged Pikmin. Nintendo's E3 2012 conference also brought along the announcement of a new game featuring the Pikmin, albeit their inclusion would not be showcased until later. Nintendo Land was Nintendo's new title launching alongside the Wii U. The game would be comprised of 12 Nintendo franchises turned into both single-player and multiplayer attractions. Though not officially unveiled, within gameplay footage the Pikmin logo could be seen as one of those 12 attractions. On September 13, 2012, at its conference in New York City, Nintendo officially unveiled the new trailer for Nintendo Land. Included in this trailer was a new attraction, Pikmin Adventure. As Bill Trinen explained in developer commentary, the game is a faster-paced action game compared to the traditional Pikmin games. Pikmin Adventure would be a multiplayer attraction allowing one player to control Captain Olimar, with up to 4 other players controlling Pikmin. The objective of the game is traveling short stages filled with enemies and obstacles in order to reach Captain Olimar's ship at the end. Pikmin Adventure became the first and only Pikmin game to release first in the US when Nintendo Land and Wii U arrived on November 18, 2012. On April 17, 2013, Nintendo officially revealed the Winged Pikmin in Nintendo Direct. That summer, on July 13th, Pikmin 3 finally released for the Wii U in Japan. Ultimately, the game only included 3 of the 4 previously revealed captains, Alf, Brittany, and Charlie. The game included a single-player campaign as well as a co-op mission and bingo battle modes. New features also included the ability to navigate your map with the gamepad's touchscreen, as well as the option to watch replays of your in-game days. On July 24th, Miyamoto discussed in an interview with Nintendo President Satoru Iwata that his team was considering the development of DLC for Pikmin 3. On October 1st, Nintendo announced 3 waves of DLC for the game during a direct with the first DLC pack being simultaneously launched. DLC number 1 included 5 remixed stages of the Collect Treasure mission mode, with 1 being free to those who updated the game. DLC pack number 2 released on November 6, 2013, and included 5 remixed battle enemies missions, once again with a free mission available. The third and final DLC pack arrived on December 2nd. This larger DLC included 5 brand new stages with both Collect Treasure and battle enemies missions. As with the others, the holiday-themed Fortress of Festivities stage debuted as a free download. After the completion of Pikmin 3, our next bit of Pikmin software was released following the Nintendo Direct on November 5, 2014. There it was announced that Miyamoto's 3 CGI Pikmin short films would be available for download in either 3D on the 3DS or in HD for the Wii U. In addition, Pikmin 3 would receive a demo on the Wii U eShop, allowing new players to try the game and transfer their progress to the full version. Miyamoto made an official statement regarding the release of these applications, commenting, "Continually launching campaigns after the release of software will lay the groundwork for the next iteration of Pikmin in the future." In a July interview with Eurogamer, Shigeru Miyamoto confirmed Pikmin 4 was in development, and in fact, very close to completion. However, Miyamoto did not detail if the game was in development for Wii U or the rumored NX console. On September 1st, 2016, we were treated to our first glimpse at the next Pikmin game. However, it is not the Pikmin 4 teased by Miyamoto. This new title is a game exclusive for the Nintendo 3DS. The game still stars Captain Olimar and the Pikmin that previously appeared, however this game is projected to be a side-scrolling action platformer. In a subsequent direct on April 12, 2017, more information about this title was revealed. The game was given the moniker Hey Pikmin, and a release date of July. Additionally, it was announced the game would launch alongside a Pikmin amiibo figurine featuring the red, blue, yellow, rock, and winged Pikmin. The game released that summer on July 13th in Japan. In addition to being a 2D side-scroller, the game also included new features to the series such as amiibo support, the Pikmin Park, and new controls such as a jetpack for Olimar and levels focused on swimming and flying. At this point, little is known about the future of the Pikmin series. Miyamoto and Nintendo have repeated on multiple occasions over the past few years that Pikmin 4 is still in development, but other details are slim. It can easily be assumed that if Pikmin 4 was intended to be a Wii U game, it has now shifted development towards the Nintendo Switch. Will we see Pikmin in an upcoming Nintendo Direct? Or like its 3 predecessors, will an official trailer have to wait until E3? Until then, we will have to wait to see what the future sprouts.